Oh, is it on?
It's on.
It's on. Okay. All right. So, letter to a friend. Talking about it. So basically, Jason came to me with this movie idea. He's like, Ammon. I had a dream. I'm like, oh, Jason, you had a dream. You're gonna tell me about the dream?
When I proposed it, it was my character was writing a letter to this guy that sacrifices himself, and it was symbolic of a prayer to the Lord.
Tell us about the dream. It's about this guy, World War II. I'm like, oh, okay, tell me about the dream.
I knew it'd be an easy sale for Ammon because I said World War II, and that was it.
And I'd been collecting World War II stuff anyway because that's what I'm into. And also making movies. So making a movie, World War II, you have my interest, let's do it.
But originally the concept was a 5-minute film, and it was going to be the main character was writing this letter to his captain, who was supposed to be a Christ-like character. Loosely symbolic to Christ, not the character was going to have way more flaws and be more human. The original script was actually about 6 pages long, and it was intended for it to be a short film.
It's a 5-minute film. I have a problem with it already. Why? It's a 5-minute film.
Ammon said, man, it'd be cool if we added this here and this here, and let's write that in. And it went from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, and 20 minutes to, do you think we can get 40 minutes out of this?
You know, I got this new gun. Maybe we ought to have this guy carry it. We can have a little shootout with this other guy over here. We don't have to show this guy's face, even though we've killed him 5 times already as a German. He can play the German again. It's no big deal. Because I got a bayonet. It's a real bayonet on a real M1 Garand. Of course, we're going to have to try to figure out how to jam that into him.
We came to kind of a standstill. Where's the story going to go? How can we tie this back to the original concept?
It creates issues. Now we're kind of losing sight of the film. The way I remember it was, Jason says, the dream I had was the men that are in this squadron of, or platoon, or whatever you would like to call it, that are serving with this guy are symbolic of the 12 that follow Christ. And this is kind of the spiritual ensemble walking around.
And then Ammon and I talked about it and thought, you know, we could tie narration in and maybe tie some of that extra footage into the story so we could get a film that made sense. It's got to be symbolic to a prayer. He's writing a letter that's symbolic to a prayer.
Did we stick to that? I think we did. We came out with the same idea, the same effect, but it's a feature film at this point.
We had an original cast, and the guys that we originally cast as the lead roles were people we thought we could rely on. And it turned out that these guys weren't as dedicated as we were. In fact, after the first day, which was a fiasco, they were putting their foot down on lighting and this technique and that technique, and we were having a hard time. Ammon and I were agreeing on everything, and it was our project. And these 2 guys came in, and one more than the other was just ruined the whole first day of shooting. He said, he actually said, you guys are never going to do anything. You're never going to finish this project. And it was, actually I wanted to punch the guy. There was a lady that I was working with that knew a family that were interested in acting, and I didn't know how serious they were about it, but when we approached them, we said, listen, we're small time. This is all independent stuff. Everything you do for us is going to be volunteer. We can't pay you. We're not even going to have food on the film shoots. So we can't feed you either. But these two guys that we got in contact with, one in particular was Jake Strack, the other one was his brother Joe. And Jake kind of took over for me for casting the film. He seemed to have an endless supply of family and friends that they were always able to bring people in to help us shoot. Another source that we had was Ty Hill, and we honestly didn't put a lot of faith in Ty being reliable. But he showed up, and he helped us out. You know, we worked around his schedule, and Ty seemed to be one of the most natural actors on the set, and able to do what we needed him to do, and really pull it off naturally without any training at all.
So I think it's pretty impressive that the actors that we worked with stuck with us as long as they did. We didn't pay them anything. I know that I was really hard to work with. I didn't put up with a lot. I'm just this scrawny, skinny guy that was ordering people around, and I know that that was hard for a lot of people to swallow, but yet they did, and they took it, and were pretty nice about it. And I appreciate it.
Gosh, I would love to work with those guys again. I mean, there were some days where things didn't go as smooth as others, but they were reliable, they were fun, they were funny, they lightened the set, and they helped us, and it was great. Talking about people that help us is Ryan Steele. When I met that kid, wow. Did not expect what he ended up giving us. He was still in high school, and he was green, and just wanted to be included, I think, you know. Messed with his little friend Andrew Harmon, who was in the film too, who helped us quite a bit. And both of those guys we killed off, and we didn't talk to them for years. And both of them had their own lives, and Ryan came back into the picture. Didn't even recognize him, honestly. He changed so much.
Just I think in 2012, and we filmed the missionary scenes. Well, he helped me out later on to film a couple of shots to tie things together a little bit better in 2013. At the end of 2013, so just 9 months ago or so. Anyway, I had him play a photographer for Company B, and he's using an old film camera. And we were able to show his face again and everything because he looks so different from where he was a Nazi being bayoneted. No one would ever even pull that together and know that that guy is the same guy.
It can't not say something about my brother, Brian, who, through all the issues that we had dealing with the limited time that we had to use him, and Brian got fed up, which I understood. He got to a point where he didn't want to work on this project anymore, and I think all of us got to that point at some point, but we also wanted to finish it, and we're willing to do what we had to do to get it finished. But Brian helped with even some financial. Brian put some of his money forth. Not as much as Ammon and I, and certainly Ammon put more than all of us.
Of course, you know, I had a few dollars here and there for the small job I had and bought what I had to buy. But other than that, we invented things, we created things, we pulled stuff up, pictures out of books for weapons. So Jason and I, we put together some pipes, and that we found some scrap pipes, and we went over to my grandpa's house, and I'd like to point out Grandpa Ewell was so generous with his yard. He let us film in his field, and a good percentage of the movie, probably over 50% of it, well, definitely because of the filming in the barn too, was filmed in his yard in Pleasant Grove, and he let us do that. But anyway, in his shop, he let us go in there and build those machine guns. And we created a 30 caliber American machine gun, and then a similar 30 caliber German machine gun as well. The radio that the character Carter that I play in it has was an old computer that we got from the DI, and I stuck a strap on the back of that and an old ski pole, cut the handle off of it, stuck that in the back of an old computer and called that the antenna. Broke up an old rotary dial phone and just put the receiver on it and said that is now the radio. We had made a bazooka, and it looked relatively like a bazooka. I think most people watching the movie will realize they're fake, but I wanted to explain where they came from in the first place, because we put a lot of work into that stuff. We did the best that we could with what we had to work with. A lot of the costumes were not World War II. They were actually Vietnam era jackets that they were wearing. Most people don't know the difference. I do, but I think a lot of people don't. The helmets, a lot of those were steel pot helmets from Vietnam. Although the look is the same as World War II, the way that they were actually welded together and created and molded are actually a little bit different. And if a historian got looking at them, they could tell that it's not vintage 1940s. Anyway, the boots were Vietnam era. They're the black boots. They were not, they're supposed to be the brown laced up boots, the brown leather. Of course, we're not going to spend all this money on it.
You know, and Ammon and I, when we were the first ones to really catch the vision of the project.
We literally shot the last part of the film in 2013, and I created some audio for it, sound effects, in 2014. As I was putting the last tweaks of editing to it. I was editing in the hospital in 2014, tweaking it while I was having surgeries and whatnot.
And this project was my baby for a long time. I felt like it was, you know, I wanted this project to go places. I wanted it to be in film festivals, and I think Ammon kind of took over that it was his baby, and we were kind of fighting over whose baby it was.
It's a big part of my life, and that's why it is. I do consider it my baby, even though Jason says it's his, and I will hand it to him. It is his. He did create the idea. It was his dream. The moment he told me about the dream, it became mine too.
It was both of our babies.
When we started this film, I wasn't married. And I met my wife because of this. Well, I met my wife because of work at Discover Card. I worked with her. But we needed to find somebody to play the wife of Jason's brother, Brian, who is the captain. Ultimately, she and I started dating and got married. This became a big part of my life, obviously. I married a girl who acted in this film, and this baby that she's holding is my son, and it's just neat to see these pieces all tied together and how intricate and how personal this film is in my life. It's just mind-boggling. And it doesn't even bother me that bad that Brian got his arm around my wife. Because you know what? It's okay. It still somewhat feels okay, and it feels right, as long as it's only in the movie.
Ammon and I kind of learned how to work with each other and get the job done, and to moving forward with new projects. Ammon and I know that I don't think I could get a project done without Ammon, and I think he feels the same way. He doesn't think he could get one done without me.
There was a certain amount of people that may disagree with losing, may argue that it lost its spirituality because of how violent it was. And to that, I may say you have your right to the opinion. I disagree with it. I didn't want to make it violent for the sake of making it violent.
It was a trial and error process. We thought, we really should do a blood explosion here. And how are we going to do that? And everything that we filmed was trying to for us to learn a new concept.
Just learning how to put things together and visually create something that didn't actually happen. Can we do it? I wanted to see if we could.
And so this film not only for us was a creative expression, but it helped us get more advanced in the process of filmmaking. And everything in it that we used just turned out better than we expected it to.
We had rifles that were real, that were functioning weapons, and we needed to fire them for battle sequences. Because how are we going to get the special effects? How are we going to make these look like they're even firing? Well, I don't know, because we were filming in a time frame where we didn't even have CG. There was no computer graphics. It wasn't possible to even add that in at the time. Hollywood had a hard time even adding that in for that time period, let alone a bunch of guys like us. We didn't have that ability. And so what Hollywood did was fire blanks at that time. And so we said, well, why can't we do that? We can fire blanks. So we came up with the idea of figuring out how to do that.
Yeah, it was hard work, but it was fun. We were out blowing things up and shooting people with blanks and doing things that we had never done before. And it was an awesome time. We bought smoke machines. We were trying to figure out how to make this guy look like his innards were out. So we just went and bought guts. We went and bought cow guts and mixed them with blood, fake blood and real blood.
Although some of the time during the film we were shooting live rounds. we had to keep in mind, remember, are we shooting live rounds today or are we not? Let's keep this in mind and focus, people.
Because Ammon and I were so tied to this project, we wanted it to look awesome. And so we spent the time doing what we thought, what Hollywood filmmakers just do. We actually came to those conclusions and used them to help us.
A lot of the scenes that we ended up shooting were over at Beehive Baseball Park, also known as Art Dye, which is in American Fork. And it's right behind a baseball park, and there was a lot of empty trees over in that area, and nowadays a lot of it's all mowed down and turned into grass. It's just all sodded over and turned into soccer fields. There's a few trees left there, but we're really lucky that we filmed at the time frames that we did, because we would not have the space to do it now. We could never get away with firing blanks and setting off explosions like we were doing then. And
neither Ammon and I were experienced film photographers, and Ammon's way more advanced than I am now, but neither of us had a lot of experience, and we just knew what looked good and how to make it look good. And we also learned a lot about editing with this project. We went through 3 different editing systems to put this thing together. And eventually, originally I approached Ammon and I said, we really need to buy a computer because that's where the editing is going. And Ammon said, no, let's buy a system that just does editing. And we did, and some of our first trailers were done on that system, and it doesn't look bad.
When you're at your worst, out of nowhere, something great will happen. It makes it all worthwhile. Just to give in to the bad and to not want to live, that's cheating yourself.
Live or die. I got nothing to go home to, so I don't care.
When Ammon started editing with Final Cut and then Apple, it just, we knew that that's what we had to do.
After shooting a scene with my wife and we married, we shot another scene with her again, playing the captain's wife, just a year later after marrying, and we had a daughter at that point, Lillian, and she was just a newborn, and she is in the movie as well as the brand new daughter who the captain has never met. She was born after he had left to the service, and so she's in the movie, and I know Jason's boy Braxton is in the movie. I don't know how old he is, like just 2 or 3, 4. Is he 4 in that? Anyway, he's young in that though, and he's just got a couple of kids up that point. But anyway. Many kids did not exist, and they do now. Many people were not married, and they are now. From the start of that, a lot of lives have changed from the beginning of that movie up to the point of now, and it's pretty crazy.
So we need to get this shot of the captain dying, and it has to look like he's ascending to heaven. How are we going to do that?
Brian will be shot up against that tree, dragged down, laid there. The man lift will raise above him as he descends into heaven.
Head goes in, head goes out.
Well, you can put this on a kid's show.
Head goes in,
Going down.
taking it down.
How do you feel about being the key operator?
Well, mainly, I've been on this set a few times. I've done a lot of things. You might recognize me as the one in the scene who delivers the letter to the wife.
You were in it?
I was in this movie.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were in it.
Alex, Ammon's little brother Alex, was there, and once we got past, hey, let's stop playing with the crane and film the shot, it went pretty smooth, and we got what we needed, and it actually looked pretty good at the end too. So. Somebody help me! And there was some shots where, like, we shot the Nazi off the tower, and I wanted to show the flag, kind of show the fall of the Nazi party, and by showing the guy fall off and then the flag comes down on top of him, I think that's that was one of those shots that I wanted to get. I want to talk about another shot that was my idea that I got made fun of for. And that was the shot where Jude was going to kill himself. And because it was symbolic of Christ, if you pay attention to the names in the film they follow the 12 apostles. So we have Jude, and like in the Bible he kills himself, we needed to have him kill himself. So I had this shot in my mind, and it was the character silhouetted in a tree by itself. So you see him walk to the tree by itself, and I called it the lone tree shot. You had to show how alone he must have felt.
It was just 2 weeks later I learned it was
and that was the point of that tree. Jude and Ammon, everybody made fun of me because of that shot. And in fact, I approached Jude at the premiere and I said, "Do you remember that shot you made fun of me?" And he's like, "Yes." And it looked good.
We filmed over at Utah Lake, the beach scene, Normandy Beach, charging the beaches. Turned out really good. It, for the most part, seemed like an ocean. I thought we should film more of a beach scene. The movie should open with a battle. It should be charging the beaches. The bullets should be going you know, and there should be, you know, we should have a D-Day scene. And I think we can get away with it, even though we have only 2 or 3 people charging the beach. I think if we splice in real scenes of D-Day, mixed in with actual shots that we film, and I can build. I figured out a way to build the anti-tank barricades, the little X's that the Germans put on the beaches, and I put these things together. This is Jason, for the most part, he was kind of annoyed that I'd come up with extra scenes, but for the most part, he agreed with him. This one he was pretty against, but I convinced him. And we shot it, and the day that we shot it, he was pretty okay with it. He was really cooperative. But then after seeing the full edited version, which was really not until 2014 when it was all compiled and put together. Not until just pretty much this year did he actually officially see it, where he has now acknowledged that he saw my vision.
Everything happened, I believe, for a reason. Even though it took us 14 years to finish the project, I think if we would have finished it before that 14-year time frame, it wouldn't be as good as it is. And I hate to say that it took us 14 years to do it. It really bugs me that that's the case. But we matured, we grew, we learned new things, and as we did, we were able to put those thoughts and ideas and principles into the project, and honestly, it wouldn't have been as good as it was, I think, if we would have finished it 10 years ago. When it came to the final end scene and all the cleanup footage, Ammon came to me and said, "You got to write this," and so I would write it, and he would approve it. And we would come to agreement on it, but most of the writing was done by me, and there's no way that I could have finished it with Brian and Ammon.
It's neat to see something that's so new to me at this moment, to see a new movie that's finally finished and all of it all put together, but yet it's so old. To see all of these things that we shot so long ago, and all of these new pieces of the puzzle that were added in as late of or as recent as 2014, and all tied together in this package, and seeing what we have, and it's mind-boggling.
When Ammon showed me the finished product, the rough draft, it was just, to me, it was awesome. Now let's do something. When we had our little premiere at the movie theater, it was like a reunion too, you know. All those guys came back.
July 19th, 2014 was the premiere date. They officially watching Letter to a Friend on the big screen. Hey, this is Junior here, known as Andrew in real life. It's good to see him again.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's not scary.
She babysits. Yes, this is Colette. She plays the captain's wife.
Hello.
She's famous. This is Pete. He's famous for being Pete. Cool.
That's so fun.
Hey, look at that right there.
How's it going?
The captain.
What's
How's
up?
it going, Captain
Good.
Wright?
It's good. It's going
Long
good.
time since I've seen you. Except
I know.
on the computer.
Yeah, I know.
You here.
Oh boy. All right.
So
get in here.
here's Jude.
Oh yeah, that was my name, huh?
Joe Guinness Ty Hill. There you go. And you said Tommy?
Katya.
Katya.
There you go. I'm like, I don't know if I have a tongue that can say that. But
That took me a while too.
it's nice for you guys to come out. Appreciate it. It's awesome. But this guy's the star. He made the movie. He was awesome. He showed up for years.
I don't know.
Years.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're like, hey, we need you to come out a year later. We're like, could you come and do another shot? He's like, fine, I guess.
I got a free Halloween costume that I used for like years out of it. So.
Good old Joe. Good old Joe. So good to have you here, man.
Good to be here.
Hi. It's Jake right here.
How's it going?
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, man.
No problem.
This is the guy that found us people all the time, too.
Yes.
He showed up and then he kept finding more people for us.
Yeah, and then I dragged people that were drunk laying in bed to your place and make them pretend they were Nazis and stuff.
Yeah, we're like, we need 3 more people to shoot and kill. He's like, oh, okay, I'll get them.
It was great to see those guys again and talk to them and let them see what they were involved in. And every one of them came to me and said, man, we really appreciate it. That was awesome. That was better than we expected and way more than we expected it to be. And Ty even posted that he was proud to be a part of it.
This is 06. Our coordinate says Able 4. That was the first time pretty much I was kind of surprised of how emotional I actually kind of felt inside seeing these guys again, because I guess working on it and editing and seeing them over and over and over and stuff and replaying a lot of it on tape and stuff, I don't know, there's definitely been a connection and a bond, I feel, and I'm definitely gonna miss it because it's over now, and that makes me sad, but I'm grateful for it, and I'm glad that it's been a part of my life. I'm glad that we did it, and it was pretty amazing.
All right, look at you go.
Did you have to do something?
We need smoke them if you got them.
Wow, you guys are good.
Smoke them while you got them, ladies.
Where's the mic? It's all good.
We're rolling.
You lying son of...
Hey, are you getting a shot of you? Are you seeing the body at all?
Oh, you're right.
A little, not much.
Okay. You need some padding?
You're right. Something, yeah. We're rolling.
You do St. John's Bay.
Up higher. Right here. There we go.
Okay. All set to go again.
This is Jude running. Take 52.
Do you have to be like that?
Jude running. Take 52.
Did you guys see the new Lord of the Rings?
I haven't yet.
There's so much like...
Sam.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
We're rolling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, rolling.
Let's move out!
Whoever's backpack.
Oh, I'm dead. Ow, ow. I'm dead. I
Don't
can't
kick
fight
the
back.
dead, you idiot. Yeah, this is the Nazi
Get him in the willy wally.
camp.
There's a third shovel. I can help, dude. Or he can. Captain. Why don't you get your hands dirty, Captain?
Captain doesn't lower.
Okay, cut.
He's alive!
Bedhead!
Growing after you're dead.
Did you have a nice nap?
Step on the butt. You sure about that?
All right, let's go, ladies.
Cack off a rhino, take 3.
Go! Second Ranger!
Ahead action.
So he jumped to the other side of the building, right? And when he jumped, he barely missed, and he started to fall, and he had to catch himself.
Thanks, man.
Go ahead.
But the problem is, I noticed that I'm running, when I jump, I soar forward. It's like, I thought I just hit.
Okay, camera is rolling.
Okay, I don't know how to say what happened in French.
Okay, my name's Roger Taylor. I rebuild old antique cars, and I do a little filmmaking evidently. That's what I'm doing now. So.
What other films have you experienced?
Sandlot.
Awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
What kind of a car do you got?
1941 Chevrolet.
What kind of an engine you got?
It's got a 350 V8 automatic transmission.
Slightly different than the original.
It's slightly different than the original. Looks original on the outside, but not on the inside.
Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Glad to do it.
Thank you very much. So, what kind of uniform you got going on there, Al?
Well, what it is it's Army from World War II.
They did start going into service in 43 and 44, so we still are getting it in the general time area. These are pins from Grandpa. It's back from 49 that Alex is wearing. And this is Grandpa's hat, and inside of it is a picture of Grandma that's been in there since 1949. And so he kept that in his hat. This is the original hat, and we didn't have a hat for this uniform, so he let us borrow it, so we have to bring it right back.
This is a tripod. It's got 3 legs. Tripod. I got a quad pod at my house. Good for you.
4-foot.
Yeah. A little more stable. See how this is unstable? See how it moves so much? See how it just moves around?
You drunk? Oh. Correct, you guys ruined it. Jaden, I didn't know you were here.
Here you go, Jaden. Yeah, isn't that James C. Wright's kid?
That's James C. Wright kid.
Yep, that's Kid C. Wright. That there, I guess. You ready to go, bud?
He brings.
We're done. You ready to go home, Jaden?
No.
You're not? All right, Dirty Jake. You tell us what happened.
Dirty Jake.
Dad's gonna be okay.
All right, Jake.
Okay, action.
Do it. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Yeah, keep doing it, boy. One more time. Keep going. Keep going. Come on, keep going. One more. One more.
No!
You can do it.
No more!
You can do it.
Tell us what the Nazis are.
Here, let me show you how it's done.
I feel dizzy.
Get out of the way.
Jay, I feel dizzy.
Get out of the way.
I don't want to get up.
Get out of the way. This is how it's done. Ow!
Start doing fight scenes. I love you, buddy.
Oh, let's make up. I'm sorry.
Special Sergeant Goofy.
I'm sorry.
I love you.
Action!
Scream!
Go! Go! Go!
Keep going. Scream it.
Scream!
Bam!
Hey! Miller! Don't smile, you're dying!
Close your eyes, you're dead. All right.
Don't breathe.
All right.
Drink, Joe. Look at you.
That's good acting.
Best acting I've ever.
Yep. That's good.
Okay, now we're just wasting film.
A wee mo wet, a wee mo wet, a wee mo wet, a wee mo wet. Come on, back me up.
Germans and Americans are allied.
Why can't we be friends? No, 42!
Oh, he's going all the way.
The ball!
Rolling. Action. I wanna be a missionary now. I don't wanna wait until I'm grown. Do 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 do.
So we still have to record all my stuff.
Good job, guys.
All your narration.
High fives now. Sorry.
In the face. Idiots. Retards.
We like it.
I thought you hit my hand.
Very good, Elder Wright. You did a great job. I appreciate you coming out.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Elder Barlow. What church is that again? Oh, yeah, we got you.
They made these. Ammon did.
Yeah, those lines are great. Oh gosh. Just record and then we'll walk around.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. Yep.
You are 16, going on 17, baby, it's time to think. Better beware, be canny, be careful, baby, you're on a brink. You are 16, going on 17, fellows will fall in line. Da 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 da.
Go away. Come again another day. Little Johnny wants to play. So what do you think these kids are doing?
I do it.
It says to market, to buy a fat pig. To buy a
Hello?
plum
It's
bum.
them.
Home again,
A boy?
Fat pig.
home again, market is done.
Fat pig.
Fat pig.
7 pounds? Oh, how wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh, well, let us know when Elizabeth's feeling well enough and we'll come and see him. Okay? Oh, thank you. Bye. Oh, wonderful. Another baby.
Grandma, would you get to children ready for bed. I need to go up and what?
Yes, dear.
It's been a while, old friend, since I had a chance to sit down and write. Mary and I have been blessed with a new great-grandson. That makes 14. I want to thank you for the role you've played in my family over the years. Not a day goes by that I don't think about the sacrifices you made for me.
Baker Company, this is 06. Copy, we read you 06.